We live in a world obsessed with finding a hidden door. Every day, we are bombarded with another 5-step system, another productivity hack, or a secret formula promising to compress years of hard-earned experience into a weekend. We expect the final result, the wealth, the physical fitness, the massive audience, before we have actually built a person capable of producing that result. We want the reward, but we want to negotiate the price. When a task gets difficult or boring, we tell ourselves we need to research a better strategy. We call it optimization, but often it is just avoidance wearing the clothes of intelligence. Continually searching for a shortcut is frequently just a socially acceptable way to hide from the discomfort of doing the actual work. The irony is, we have more access to information than any previous human generation. You can instantly pull up tutorials, consult artificial intelligence, and listen to experts who have already made the exact mistakes you're about to make. Logically, that should make progress effortless, but information entirely on its own does not create transformation. There is a massive gap between understanding a concept intellectually and actually executing it. Knowing how a business works doesn't build a business. We keep preparing because it feels productive, watching another video instead of practicing, effectively anchoring ourselves in place. Having more data at our fingertips than ever before has created a unique modern trap. It is incredibly easy to spend an entire day just learning how to start, without ever actually starting. Crossing that gap requires something the internet rarely shows you: uncomfortable, unglamorous repetitions. This is the boring part. The terrible first drafts, the early mornings, the videos that get absolutely no views, the solitary struggle when motivation disappears. Nobody makes a viral post about sitting at a desk for 4 hours trying to solve a single problem. Imagine 2 people. One spends months mapping out the perfect strategy, waiting until every variable feels certain. The other chooses a reasonable path and just starts making messy, imperfect attempts. Fast forward 6 months. That second person knows drastically more than the first. Not because they found better advice, but because reality became their teacher. Every mistake provided immediate data that no course could ever match. Genuine competence cannot be downloaded or planned out in advance. It is exclusively forged in the crucible of messy, invisible action. Doing the work creates a compounding loop. Action produces feedback. That feedback produces understanding, and understanding dictates immediate improvement. Improvement yields results. Results generate confidence, and that confidence makes your next action significantly easier. The spiral compounds. Keep that loop running long enough, and it produces an entirely unfakeable asset: judgment, an asset born purely from surviving the consequences of your own decisions. When you have judgment, you no longer need a map. You have traveled the road so many times that you intuitively recognize patterns. You know which problems actually matter, and you naturally ignore the distractions. You cannot inherit a billionaire's decades of decisions just by watching their interviews. You have to step into the arena, risk being wrong, and experience the consequences yourself to turn theory into wisdom. This is exactly why society loves an overnight success story. It makes massive achievement look highly accessible without making it look expensive. The overnight moment is just a visibility bias. Look at the full picture. You're seeing the emergence of someone who survived years of being ignored. Eventually, excruciating work solidifies into a routine you finish quickly. The skills become second nature. When people on the outside observe this sudden speed and effortless performance, they will immediately just call it luck. They see the result, but not the thousands of difficult repetitions underneath it. The overnight moment certainly exists, but the overnight journey is a complete myth. To navigate this reality, you have to abandon extractive questions like, what is the absolute easiest way to succeed? The question has to shift. Instead, you ask, how do I become so consistently good at something valuable that my success becomes impossible to ignore? You eliminate the endless detours. Stop switching goals when progress stalls. Stop consuming endless advice. You need raw, uncomfortable experience. The ultimate shortcut isn't avoiding the work. It is becoming so thoroughly competent that opportunities cannot bypass you when they finally appear. Modern tools and technology are incredible, and they will undoubtedly accelerate your workflow. but they can never replace the fundamental human requirements of patience, resilience, and judgment. They speed up the vehicle, but they cannot steer it for you. The long road is ultimately the shortest. While others search for a secret door, you accumulate the experience to stay at your destination once there.